Is it giving you any kind of error or?
No, it was. I had to. I just got it back up. I believe it was. There we go. It should be back up now.
I'll
Yep.
refresh my Twitch and see.
Yeah. So what it was for some reason the fact that I was recording it stopped it. So I had to stop the recording and then restart the stream and then restart the recording. So I'll have two different individual recordings if this doesn't immediately go onto Twitch. It does depend on what LOL Midwest Twitch's settings are, if it'll immediately go
Oh,
to
that's
VOD.
right.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's like, do you have the recording set to end when the game ends? And maybe
No,
that's affecting it?
no, I don't. It would all come down to what the LOL Midwest Twitch settings are as it relates to recording and things like that, if it's going to stop the stream or something along those lines. So, not entirely sure what's going on, but nonetheless, I will look to check my bitrate and everything. My internet's fine. I have it on 5 gigahertz, and I've tested my bitrate multiple times. We didn't have this issue yesterday, so gonna have to double check, see what it is. Not sure if it's because I'm stream keyed into a different Twitch. I can't imagine that would be the case, but that's the
I
only.
don't think that should make any
Yeah, that's
difference.
the only contextual variable that's different from yesterday. So we'll have to check that out. I'll have to troubleshoot it. But as of right now, I believe that we're ready to get into this game three. We don't want to keep you guys waiting any longer, and we'll have to troubleshoot this, as we get later. But I will go into. Let's get into pregame.
Just waiting for the link for that for the draft for this one.
Yep,
And I think we'll be good to go. As we're waiting for that, one thing you could check. I don't know if you're rescaling the size of the picture at all.
I'm not.
If you are, you do okay. Then in that case, it won't matter at all. So,
Yeah, unfortunately.
well, if you're on the side of the church here, what things do you want to change up after the last game? What do you want to keep the same in draft? What are you looking to change? Are there any bans that you're not going to let through?
Yeah, I. That's a tough one. Definitely not liking the Maokai support. Not sure if that's something that that person was comfortable on, but their support in the first game seemed to work way, 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 way better. So, um, uh, yeah. Thank you, Zeke. Zeke is in Twitch chat right now saying that we can mess with it later. So thank you so much. We're ready to go. If you guys are not entirely sure what the issues have been, but we're ready to get into this game three, and hopefully it'll be a banger. But yeah, what I'm looking to see, I'm not a big fan of that Maokai support, and I'm not looking for a top laner to have a lot more agency. It's great that you're comfortable on Udyr. It's great that you like playing Udyr top, but you know what? It's cool to get solo kills 10, 15 minutes into the game, but when you're in a 35-minute team fight, what's that, and your team doesn't have damage, what's that Udyr top really doing? So that's another thing I'm looking to change.
Especially if you can't find someone pushed up too far on their own, because he's great at catching someone up like out like that. But if the enemy team is not going to give you that, it's really hard to capitalize on a champion that kit is built around that.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Bryles. He says, peace it out. He says, enjoying your hungry hobo. That is me. I am the hungry
Yeah.
hobo. So, thank you guys. Thank you, Bryles, one of my best friends from my life. So, he doesn't play League of Legends, but he tuned into the Twitch now that he knows that I'm doing this. So, you guys got another LOL Midwest follower on you.
Hey, well, we appreciate the viewer. So thanks so much for watching. I was going to say one thing I might change about the draft. I don't think Jin was the call. I don't think Jin played poorly by any means. But if you are into a team that has a Mumu and Tarek and Jax,
Mm-hmm.
uh, Jin just doesn't typically have the ability to shred through those targets like one of your more traditional AD carries. Like the on-hit Varus in the game before would have been a better example of something that can, I think, deal with tanks a little bit better.
A
The
Jinx, anything.
Zeri, the Jinx, absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
yeah, I completely agree with that analysis as well. And I think one of the reasons why the Jin felt so bad is because you had an Udyr top, as I was saying earlier, right? So, like, it's not, it's a combination of a lot of things. And as chat's also saying right now, they're saying that they put their draft last game entirely on Aurelion Sol's back. And it really felt that way late game. It was, if Aurelion Sol isn't there, if he's not winning you fights, you have no hope in those fights. And a lot of it did have to do with that Amumu being as tanky as he was as quickly as he was, because when you have Tarek Amumu in team fights, that just feels gross. That just feels disgusting.
Yeah, absolutely. It really does. And I think maybe the Aurelion Soul is why they went with the Jin, like was said in the chat. Um, but yeah, I guess that's their, like, if Jin kind of plays like a mage and Aurelion Soul has the damage of an ADC, maybe that's their thought process. I still think it would be good to have some consistent AD damage.
Absolutely. Did
if you run
did you
draft.
see the draft link put in the client chat? So it looks like we've
I
hopped.
just saw it now, yes.
They just put it in, so you haven't missed
Yeah.
anything yet. So
Okay,
it,
perfect.
it looks like we are getting started here in draft. I fully expect that Zoe to be banned for that third straight game, because even though we've seen him play Aurelion Sol on the side of the church, we've seen him play the Lux. I don't think you guys want to look up this guy's Zoe and Lissandra win rates. They are absolutely gross. Zoe, as a mid laner myself, if there's one champion that I think has the highest skill cap of anybody who's mastered or it's their main champion that I don't want to see, it's a Zoe. I don't know if you're a fan of Pro at all, but we've seen BDD on the side of Genji knock Team Liquid, favorite team, as you can see my Secret Lab Team Liquid chair, knock Team Liquid out of the 2021 Worlds, and it was absolutely gross, purely just because of the Zoe pick. So that is a champ I do not want to see.
And the ability to just pick up other teams' summoner spells that they've used, honestly, incredible. If you are in the right spot at the right time and they try and use summoners either to finish you off and can't quite do it or to get away from you, you use those right back at them and it puts you in a significant advantage.
100%. Yeah, there's so many things. It's not only the summoner spells. It's when you can throw your bubble through walls. Like you can really snipe people like a quarter of the map away. It is gross. If you can predict, as I was just saying, BDD, one of the best Zoe players in the world, if you go back and watch that tiebreaker VOD from 2021 Worlds, best Zoe play I've ever seen in my life. He had 2 snipes in the span of 20 seconds when Team Liquid was backing by their inhibitor turrets, and they still had tier 1 turrets up, and he just sniped them at their inhibitor turrets because they were standing that far back because they respected it, and he still found them. Really
and
gross.
he absolutely knows his angles and is able to pull those plays off.
Exactly. So we do see that Zoe and Lux ban coming from the side of Scorch. They do not want to see
but they
those
leave
mid
the
laners.
Lissandra open.
They do leave the Lissandra, which is a lot of engage. So we'll see if they try to find take that Lissandra and let that be their engage, and then look for some more agency up top if they do get that Lissandra, and then they don't have to pick something like the Udyr.
With the success they had with the Lux, I'm almost surprised they didn't leave it up because they have the first pick anyways, right? And you can still flex it, so it's still not playing your hand too much, but they do opt for the Caitlyn.
And
very strong early game. You can push for dragons. So yeah, go ahead.
No, don't be sorry. And it's not even like they have last pick. So you could say, oh, we don't want to take the Lux because we want to counter pick. You know what? You don't even get last pick, so you don't get counter pick. So if I were them, I probably would have taken that Lux. They probably didn't want... Oh, yeah, there we see the Lissandra and the Sejuani. That is a tanky, engaging team. The amount of CC from the first 2 picks on the church, they are looking to lock down, and they're going to answer that CC with the Amumu CC.
Absolutely. I mean, it worked so well from the last game. Why change it? If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, you couldn't have said it better.
One thing I do really like about them taking the Lissandra early, if you have a ganking jungler on your side, really the only outplay is a strong 2v2. And if Scorch doesn't pick up a strong 2v2, anytime that Sejuani's there, Lissandra can E forward and either Glacial Prison or use her W to root them. There is a lot of CC, and if you don't have your jungler there to help you get bailed out, you're going to lose your life for it.
Yeah. 1,000%. Me being mid laner, as I said, Lissandra is my 3rd most highest played mid laner of all time. They were hovering the Syndra, but they opt for the Victor. As someone who plays a lot of Lissandra, I think Victor plays way better into Lissandra than Syndra. So
I absolutely agree. You can put down your W in where her claw is going to be just to hold off. It can stun before she can actually get that Glacial Prison on you if you time it correctly.
100%. And if you can really get your empowered Q early and get really a lot of poke onto the Lissandra, you can really push out her lane really quickly if you can get the poke down. So we see the Alawi coming out. This is a tanky team from the side of the church, and it's not just a tanky team that tanks, it's a tanky team that does damage. So we'll see the amount of engage that comes from the side of Scorch to respond to this engage, or if they're just going to opt for disengage and try to go for more of a pick style comp.
They do ban the Nautilus again, though later this time. I'd be interested to see if they flex the Amumu bot lane. I don't expect that to be the case just because of the success they had.
Yeah.
But it is a possibility, and I think it plays somewhat similar to the Nautilus, which the support of Scorch is very comfortable on.
Yeah, they banned the Nami in response to the Nautilus being banned. I would be shocked if that Amumu's flex bot, because Caitlyn Amumu does not sound like a synergized bot lane, if you're asking me. I mean, granted, if you do get the Amumu CC, you set down the Caitlyn trap and can chain CC, that is great, but it's not like an MF Amumu or something along those lines that has like more of an AoE style ultimate, so where you can just like chain CC them and then AoE ultimate.
No.
But we see that Jace ban, so that's
Jace is a pick that their top lane has played a fair bit on Scorch. I don't know if it's his most successful, but it does seem to be one that he does go to.
It is, but I'm actually shocked that they don't opt to ban like another laner that Team Scorch top laner liked more. Like, he did play the Jace, but I guess they already did ban the Olaf and Jax, but nonetheless, Jace into Alawi, I take Alawi despite the poke from Jace. If Alawi can hit her E's, I like that. So,
well, and she definitely has a sustain to deal with that poke as well.
Fair.
I will say I have seen a decent amount of Aurelia on the top laner from Scorch, so I would be interested to see if they want to go something that's wants to fight in your face into the Alawi. I wouldn't recommend it, but it would make for some very fun top lane matchups.
Yeah,
at least on the viewer side of it.
10,000%. So we do see the Sivir and on the side of church, and then the response, the Lulu with the Caitlyn, which Lulu, your brother was the support player, and I'm not a huge, they're actually going to opt for, they do end up taking that
I don't
Lulu.
like it.
So
I'm just going to say it. I don't like it.
I was going to say I would have preferred the Renata once they hovered it, but I think Lulu pairs well with anything. Lulu's actually my go-to support pick because I just feel that Lulu can play in anything. And they're hovering this Yorick. I'm curious on what your thoughts are on this Yorick. Oh, now Aurelia.
See, this is what I'm hoping for, because I want to see some real good action top lane again, like we've seen in the last couple weeks, and they do lock it in.
They lock it.
I want to see some aggression. I want to see some in your face. Hey, who's the better top laner in a 1v1 before the jungler comes and ultimately ganks, and we don't get to find out anyways. But that's what I want to see. To comment earlier on the Lulu, I do agree that Lulu can be played into anything and with anything. I just don't think it empowers the Caitlyn to be as aggressive early as she would want to be necessarily.
Yeah, it's a very late game style support pick. Like, you just are playing for that Elder Drake fight basically with a Lulu. Lulu's one of those champions that in lane I don't think she helps the Caitlyn out very much, like you were saying. Like, she does give her with her W if she uses it on the Caitlyn some move speed and things like that, but other than that, like, that's really all I see. Obviously you always have the Lulu shielding, but
and the Zyra as the final support pick, by the way. What do you think of that? Into the Caitlyn? I'm guessing they're doing it to try and match the poke and to be able to shove the Caitlyn back, especially when you see the Lulu pick. But I'm curious as to your thoughts on that.
Yeah, I think I think because you have the Lissandra and a fire, so I'm going to talk about it from a team fight perspective before I talk about it from a laning perspective. So from a team fight perspective, I think it's fine because you have the CC from your Sejuani and your Lissandra that you can go more of a damage, kind of like Zyra Pokey style. As it relates to the lane, I think same thing. Having that Zyra poke is really going to be tough on that Caitlyn because how's Lulu gonna help you deal with poke if you're that Caitlyn, especially if Zyra's really setting up those plants.
And if you are Caitlyn, you can step back and you can stay at a safe range, but then you're gonna lose a lot of pressure that you would have to push up for dragons,
which is the whole point of playing Caitlyn.
Exactly. So unless they can find some any small misstep from the Zyra, because she is extremely squishy, if she missteps, they can look to punish that. But besides that, I think having Lulu with the Caitlyn is going to make it a little more difficult to get lane prio.
Yeah, I think that's absolutely right. Is like I don't necessarily think the Zyra pick is the best possible pick in that situation, but I think it really makes sense when you're playing against the Caitlyn Lulu. So, um, we'll see how comfortable he is. I'm gonna pull up their scouting once again. So it did look like they had a bit of everything. And I don't see Zyra is something that was particularly that he played, but um,
It was a surprise to me, that's for sure.
yeah, I think it works well. So as we see them get into the draft here, they're just gonna do their draft. We're gonna wait 3 minutes. I don't have any other big thoughts about this that I can think of. Though I guess I do kind of want to see what this top laner can do now that his Jax was banned. So he picked the Irelia, which is a spicy pick. So
You have to have confidence picking Aurelia into Lowy.
oh, you have to have confidence picking Irelia in a competitive game in any against any champion, in my opinion.
I promise.
Honestly, very true.
Like,
And I was going to say, their win rates against each other are very similar. It's a 50.59% win rate for the Aurelia versus a 49.41% is what I'm seeing, at least on a quick Google search. So I think it does come down to a skill matchup. So I'm really excited to see how that goes.
yeah, for sure. It looks like chat's piping in here to talk about that Zyra pick. So they're saying that they think that it'd be a good solo queue pick, but they don't like it here.
Well, as someone who's not at all a support main, let me just defend the Zyra for 1 second. We were talking about how we didn't like the Maokai. We didn't think it was the pick for that for their team last game.
Yep.
Zyra is something that accomplishes the opposite purpose. She also adds the extra damage that I think they were lacking in team fights last game. Maybe not the best option, but I think it does accomplish some things that they were lacking last game.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. And do you remember what was the support that they played the game 1?
Oh man, now you're testing my memory here.
I know.
I'm too old for these kind of questions.
I'm testing my own. I don't remember. I was gonna.
It was Rakan.
Oh, it was Rakan. You're right, the Zyra Rakan. Yeah, I'd like to see. It's not as mechanical as a Rakan can be, and obviously the Maokai is like probably one of the least mechanical champions in the game. It's just point click with everything.
Yep.
But the Xayah has a little bit more agency on her as a Rakan would. So this support has proven that they can play with some mechanical decision making. So we'll kind of see how they can take advantage of that on the Zyra. And if they can, I don't mind the pick. So taking all that into consideration, we'll see what they can do.
And on the side of Scorch, one thing that's going to be interesting to see is how they play out team fights without the same meatball-like tendencies that their champions had last game. Like, you still have the Amumu, but now you've gone from a Jax and a Taric to Aurelia and Lulu. So Lulu does still provide some almost false tankiness, and Aurelia is still not extremely squishy if she's not CC'd, but it's not quite the same meatball effect that you have had last game.
Yeah, very, very true. Very good points. We're getting into game here. I'm really excited for this game 3. The game 2 was so far obviously the best game in this series. So, I forgot about the
Spectator delay.
Spectator delay. Rip.
Can we get F in the chat for the delay, please?
Yeah, can we get Monka Steers, whatever. I'm such a boomer that I don't even know what that means. I just know that it's a thing. I don't even.
I think F in the chat's outdated, but it's the only one I know at this point.
I know Kek W. I don't even know what Kek W means. I don't know what Monka Steer means. I just know it's a thing. So
I'm just gonna assume it's all the same and pretend that I know for a fact.
right. Oh gosh, yeah, I'm definitely can't keep it up. But I will say, while we're waiting for this, we've talked a lot about the game. My favorite, as I've showed my, and yesterday I was wearing everything Team Liquid. I've showed my Secret Labs Team Liquid chair. I'm gonna check what that I missed that 5 o'clock Team Liquid game. Curious to see. Did my boys pull that one out? And they did not. They lost to the Hundo Thundo, unfortunately, and it was a very close game. It looks like so.
It is another win under Bjergsen and Double Lift Spelt, though.
I will say I love me some double lift for what he did on Liquid. Like
Yeah.
he took Liquid to an MSI final. He always people want to see him fail. I'll always root for him. I'm indifferent about Bjergsen, but um,
I want to like Bjergsen, but I think his style is too outdated for the game.
I
Personally,
agree.
I'm sorry if I get murdered by the chat for that one. But yeah, I want Bjergsen and Double Lift to succeed so bad, but I can't bring myself to believe that they're going to.
I want Double Lift to succeed just because I he took my boys to an MSI final. He took North America to an international final. So that's unbelievable. But yeah, we'll see. LCS was great today. You know, the everyone being almost everyone in all of North America being Cloud9 fans. It's always nice to see Cloud9 pick up a game. So yeah, we got 45 seconds in the spectator delay. Other things that I'm thinking about as we get in, I'm really curious to see what I fully expect Lysander to go Rod of Ages. I would be
Really? Is that what you go when you play lists?
it's what I go when the team isn't that tanky, and they have Aurelia, Victor, Caitlyn, Lulu. I know they have a Mumu, but I would fully go Rod into that comp.
And see, I am so partial to the Ludens on Aurelia.
So
I love the extra wave clear, so you can just roam a little earlier.
oh
But Rod is also a very good item, and it does make you a lot. I mean, you're already great at cheesing out abilities and being like, haha, come get me,
yeah,
and then not dying. But Rod actually makes it even easier. So
it does, and yeah, especially if you're getting it early. Obviously, there's a cap to Rod of Ages when it comes to, like, in my opinion, as a mid laner, there's a point at which you don't want Rod of Ages if it's been too late in the game. You know, you don't want to buy it late. You really want to make sure you're getting it so you can have it maxed out by like 20 minutes, 21 minutes, hopefully.
on the flip side, though, you could argue that if you get it late, it actually maximizes the value, not in terms of early stats, but you actually gain the most XP from it.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. You could, but yeah, the XP is one thing, but the point of it is maxing out those stats and getting that level in particular. So you could, like you said, you could kind of play the best of both worlds to get the XP and get that level, and maybe in the long run it makes up for it. But nonetheless, I fully expect Rod of Ages here. I'd be shocked. I could also see. It's funny how you said Ludens. Lysander's one of those champs where I play around with mythics on her so much. I could even see a Leandries. I highly doubt it with him not being tanky. I would be absolutely stunned. But generally speaking, Leandries is something I also really like on Lysander, but just definitely not in this game. And then from Victor, you fully expect Leandries. I mean,
especially going into Alawi and Sedge.
Yeah, Alawi Sedge. I can't imagine that you don't take Leandries in this instance. And then really curious if this Mumu takes Radiant Virtue again. Like we both talked about, I just didn't expect it. So we'll see if he does it again. As we see the emote sharing back and forth between these two, the Victor and the Sejuani.
A little bit of a dance battle in the river.
Yeah, they're just, you know, doing what they gotta do, having fun, being little guys.
I think Victor's dance has a little more class, but man, Sejuani's whatever it is she rides definitely has some moves itself. So.
Whatever it is she rides.
I don't know what it's called. It's not a Poro in this one.
No, it's not. Yeah, it's not the Poro rider. I always talk about it. It's a warthog. That's what I always say. So, but
we're seeing in the chat a potential idea of Everfrost from Lysandra for the immobile champs like Aurelia. I don't think that's a terrible idea. However, it's actually hard to land that on Aurelia if she has something to dash you. And right away, early aggression in the top lane from the Aurelia.
Yeah, I play Everfrost Lysander too. But if I'm now that they added Rod back into it, if I'm going for an early completed mythic, it's almost always Rod of Ages. Like, that's the whole point of taking an early completed mythic. If you're taking Everfrost, in my opinion, like the point of taking Everfrost is you get an early completed mythic and the extra CC. And on Lysander, it's nice to have the extra CC. But it wouldn't surprise me, but I'd be shocked.
It's a good point.
Someone in chat said that it's a giant board, just so you know. Go on. Sorry.
I agree with you that No, I was going to say, we see some early trading from mid and from top. And Flash burned on the side of Caitlyn there. I
Yeah.
wonder if she could have held it and just cleansed. But either way, what's done is done. No harm, no foul.
What minute are you at? I'm at 235, 236,
Oh, I apologize.
237, 238.
I will back that out to there then.
40.
I was at 3 already.
Okay,
You're
43,
at 245.
44, 45. That's good. Okay, so yeah, we do see her burn that flash. As we see the Zyra root come in. Zyra.
And we see some early trades seem to be going the way of the Alawi at this point.
And apparently, Sejuani's thing, warthog thing, his name is Bristle. Didn't know that either.
I apologize for the animal disrespect on my lack of knowledge on its name
and what it was. Yeah. So we
He doesn't
see.
be coming after me.
So yeah, we do see Sejuani just go traditional clear. She 3 camps, goes to chickens, 4 camps. We do see Aurelia put that ward in that tri-bush up in top lane to scout out that Sejuani flank.
Actually, I believe it missed the bush.
It did miss the bush, and it might time out before she comes up. So if she does opt to go Krugs, it will time out, and she does opt for that Krugs. So that could, but this lane does get pushed in, so it's not going to make much of a difference. You would think that Aurelia is just going to slow push as she engages on this Alawi, gets the stun, but we do see a Mumu up here. What is he going to do? She should be able to shut down this Alawi as we see Alawi flash out, and the response from. And we see Flash is just traded all over the place, and first blood over to the Sejuani on the side of Team Church. And double
and it's a
kill.
2 for 0.
Yeah.
Now, those kills did go on to the Sejuani. Not
Yep.
exactly what you want to see. However, you're not going to complain about a 2 for 0.
Yeah, and they forced to burn their TP first. That's just, the way it goes. And as we see Victor rotate up, forces Sejuani off of that scuttle, which is really great for that Victor. Really smart play there. He's got to get back in lane to make sure that he's getting this XP, but that's pretty much where we're at. So,
And that's one of the reasons that you pick Victor is you get that early priority, and you can shove in and you can go for those contests.
Yeah. 100%, yeah. Victor's actually one of the mid laners that as a mid lane player, I've never mastered, and I can't believe that I've never mastered Victor, but he has so many great tools in his kit. That early push is just crucial to him. As we see Amumu take this bottom scuttle, he is trying to make up for Sejuani getting those early kills. It is only about a 700 gold difference between the two teams, so that's pretty much where we're at. We do see another fight up in this top lane as Irelia is just clobbering on this Alawi, so it's really great that Alawi didn't get those 2 kills, because before those junglers showed up, it really did look like Aurelia was going to win that. So it's pretty clear to me that in this 1v1, I give the edge to Irelia in this one.
And a Mumu coming mid to the gank. Great patience waiting for out the claw.
Yep.
However, I don't think they can actually finish it.
They can't, and Lissandra does not have to burn her flash, as that's the power of Lissandra. It's the power of Pine Sol, baby. So, that's the way that works. So,
Pine Sol, sorry?
That's I said that's the power of Lissandra, and then I made a joke that's the power of Pine Sol, which you're from Canada, but in America there's an old ad, and there's a product called Pine Sol, and their slogan is the power of Pine Sol, baby.
Oh, okay, that makes more sense now.
Yeah. So I said that's the power of Lissandra. It's the power of Pine Sol. So,
I love it.
Yeah. So
key note is that Aurelia did miss her ult. She got the level 6 advantage, but wasn't able to capitalize because of that. I think if she had hit it, it would be a kill going down. But unfortunately for her, it is not the case.
100%. So yeah, we do see this Alawi clearing this wave, and we do see some Sejuani getting the first prio onto this dragon. She's only level 4, and it is a Mountain Drake, which could be really huge, an early Mountain Drake on Sejuani, and especially Alawi in those 1v1s versus Aurelia, with it still being pretty much even up there. So Aurelia is going to lose out on a little bit of XP and farm up here. Get that pushed in for Alawi. She did get the pickaxe and the longsword. I'm curious to see what Alawi's going to get off of this backup here.
I imagine that it looks like Alawi's I think building for a Black Cleaver first. I don't know what else you build Phage into as a first item these days. but almost certainly Aurelia is going to be looking for that Blade of the Rune King, and I think that's the point where she's going to be able to start coming back and fighting more aggressively again. Until then, it's going to be a little difficult for her, I think, once they've both reached the level 6 mark.
Yeah, if I'm this Lissandra right now... Oh, we do see Sejuani coming in for the gank, but Victor's just gonna clear this wave with his nice poke range and just, you know, force that Sejuani to go right to her Raptors. So she's actually pathing up, gonna take the Krugs, and maybe she'll try to make a play on the Aurelia up there. But we do see this Sivir Zyra, just like you said, this Caitlyn has no push factor with this Lulu support on her side. So it's just farm city down in the spot lane. We do see about a 15 CS difference on in favor of that Sivir. So that's...
And I am a bit surprised by that, because Caitlyn's still, like, you don't have the same, like, Sivir obviously has great push power, but Caitlyn has great range. You would think that she'd be able to farm safely against the Zyra, despite the extra damage coming her way. I didn't expect to see a CS deficit this early. Just double checking, is your mic still there?
It is. It is.
Okay, I apologize.
Yeah,
I was having flashbacks to the last game.
No, I had to make sure that I was responding adequately to something that needed my immediate attention. So,
no problem. Ult burned by Sivir. I
Yeah.
think they were expecting to be able to finish the Lulu, but ultimately nothing comes of it.
Yeah, absolutely. As we see this Lissandra roam down, she has everything. Oh, she just decides to put a ward there. Maybe try to get some vision on that Amumu, as he might be coming from that angle at some point, and possibly the Lulu. But we do see Lissandra... Oh, she isn't gonna roam up to this Herald, so Amumu should get this Herald pretty safely.
Flash expended from Aurelia.
Yep.
And in trade for the Sejuani ultimate.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, oh wow, that the Herald reset on the Amumu. He wasn't able to clear the Herald. It was nearly...
I think that's one thing that changed. When it resets, there's no soft reset anymore. It will completely reset back to its original position as of yesterday, I believe.
Oh, really? They changed that?
I think so.
I actually wasn't aware of that mechanic. So that change of that changed mechanic. So if I'm that Amumu, I'm curious as to why he didn't roam up to that Aurelia or to that Sejuani just to make sure that this Alawi, or not Sejuani, to this Alawi after taking that Herald, as he does decide to come back up now. She's gonna ward, meet him here. And he just decides to back off. I thought that he might Bandage Toss her and then ult her, just try to maybe set something up, but we do see Alawi drop that E. Is she gonna drop this ult? And she does. Is it gonna kill? It might.
Oh, gets hit by one tentacle slam. She's gonna start phasing there? Okay. She's safe.
Yeah,
I thought the second one always slammed.
I think you need to be in
Alawi's
range. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you need to. She was just out of range of it, so. Oh wow, we see the ult expended pretty early from that Amumu. We do see that flash from Alawi to dodge that ult from Aurelia, so that's pretty much where that's at. We do see that empowered recall because of that Herald has not been dropped yet. So it's about a
looks
third.
like Zyra has set a trap for Victor here.
Yeah.
He has to expend his own flash, but I don't think it's enough.
No, he's dead. Yeah, and it looks like Ignite from the Zyra too. And good thing that kill does go onto that Lissandra. We're at a 2k gold difference here. We still do need to have that Herald dropped on the side of that Amumu to pick up some plates. He has about 3 minutes left to do that. There's less time on the Herald, so he definitely, if he's going to drop it, will be during plate time. So we'll see. We'll see if they can make up this gold difference with that, as Lissandra takes a plate here in the mid lane, get some more gold on her.
So Sejuani is spotted out, sitting as Amumu puts a control word into the tri-bush. Looks like a little bit of skirmishing.
Yep.
Lulu, Wild Growth comes out. Caitlyn going forwards in a questionable play.
Another kill onto this Sejuani.
Again, not who you usually want to be feeding, but if it's working, it's working. Like,
yeah. If you're, I mean, with any champion, if you're getting enough fed, it's gonna make a difference. It's not who you want to be putting your resources into, but I mean, if that's the way the game's going, that's the way the game's going. There's no way. It's a 3k gold difference. I really don't think they're gonna be able to contest this Cloud Drake, and if I were them, I wouldn't want to. We do see Zyra get that kill onto that Lulu as they're maybe try to pick up this Amumu here. It's looking like game one all over again.
It kind of is. I was going to say, notably, Caitlyn misses an entire cannon wave while the enemy bot lane picks up a plate.
Yep.
Zyra able to clear out that ward in the river, no problem. That's 2 plates, pardon me.
Sejuani does get that dragon. She's just gonna go back up to her blue, keep on farming. Not too much CS differences, other than the Sivir does have about a 35 CS difference on that Caitlyn, plus all the gold from the plates. She already has her Kraken, so that's pretty impressive for that side of the Sivir. She should be looking to make a play here shortly.
So if you're Team Scorch, what is your what are you looking for as an angle back into this game, being this far down this early?
This might sound like the most basic, boring, plain vanilla answer, but it's Irelia picks, feed Irelia, try to win through that. I mean, I scale with the Victor. You're probably gonna have to give up objectives. Your team is down. Oh, Victor does pick up that kill. They trade.
He does go down in the end.
He does go down. We do see the flash come out from that Zyra to make sure that she doesn't. So that is some shutdown gold, I believe.
And importantly, it did go to the Victor, which is where you want it.
It is,
I don't agree with this Herald drop, but I believe he had to drop it, or is trying to get the place with it at least.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, it might have been running out of time too. I think there's a very good chance that it was running out of time. It doesn't look like it's going to get a charge off. The Sejuani's here, and it's not going to get a charge off, so that's absolutely unfortunate. But yeah, there's 3 plates missing in the top lane, 2 plates in the bot, 1 plate in mid. There's just gold all over the place for the side of Church. So, yeah, I'm looking to get Irelia big and fed somehow for late game team fights, get picks, and let this Victor scale, and that's pretty much it. I don't really see an angle for the Caitlyn to really have much of an impact, other than if she can be in the right team fight and pick up a couple kills that way. Otherwise, you want your gold on the other 2 carries. So
absolutely
looking really grim here, if I'm being quite frank, on the side of Team Scorch, but we'll see what they can do. They've shown that, you know, they can play really well. So they really drew out that first game, despite it being kind of a deficit the entire game. They fought their best, so they've shown that they can fight.
And I think in this game, it's going to be no different. If they can get to a couple of items on the Victor especially, and he can lay down a Chaos Storm in the midst of a team fight with on top of the Amumu ult, they definitely have avenues to win team fights. It's just a matter of finding those angles in the midst of adverse circumstances. Yeah,
absolutely. Absolutely, that's exactly what you're looking for. The Amumu is going to have a big point, as we do see them up in the top lane, get that kill onto that Irelia. Irelia did burn her flash, as we see Alawi pinging. She did not like that. Sejuani does come up, going to get the CC, or just the slow onto the Irelia. 2 levels down, she does throw the ult. Or not the ult.
I believe that was her passive.
That was her passive. You're right. You're right. I was like, what? Amumu ult comes in. They do get it. Wow. My win con is coming through for this team. You want this.
I was going to say exactly what you had said. That's what they're doing.
You want the Irelia to be big and thick. I will say, one of my best friends, I don't think he's in chat. I had meant to send him the chat. Ow, we see a team fight here. Man, that Lysandra just gets chunked.
She might actually go down here.
She's dead. That was great mechanical play, as we do see that Ludens on the side of the Lysandra. So he did opt to go more your style, which doesn't surprise me. Ludens is always a great pick onto that Lysandra. So Leandres,
Victor, like you said with Leandres.
Yeah, there's no way you're not going Leandres into that team comp if you're a Victor. If you're not picking Leandres, what are you doing? But yeah, the one of my best friends, he's an Irelia main. So what I do know is when you're playing with an Irelia and you're in a deficit, what I've learned is one of the best ways back into the game is to get that Irelia being able to win your fights. And you do that by getting picks, you know. So
well, and between Conqueror and her passive and the Blade of the Rune King, she becomes very difficult to kill as long as she can keep auto attacking.
Absolutely.
So she becomes a great bait tool, plus the damage resistances from her W. If you can soak a lot of abilities from the side of Church here onto this Irelia, then all of a sudden, if you are a Scorch, you have a way back into each team fight.
You really do. As we see the Amumu
Great
bandage
bandage
toss
toss.
comes in, he flashes out, re-bandage tosses in, gets the kill for that Victor as we see Zyra ult come out. What are they going to do? Looks like they're going to pick up the kill onto the Victor, but Lissandra comes in, gets the cleanup. That is not looking good. That is a Lissandra big old fight. And yeah, we see the Alawi in there too. So it's a 1 for 3 right now, but Irelia is here, and Irelia is picking them off, and Irelia is absolutely destroying. They are gonna have to win through this Irelia. It's the same player as the
Jax.
Jax.
Massive now.
Yeah, that Jax last game said, you know what, you want to ban my Jax? I will take the, in my opinion, the champion with the most individual agency in the entire game. Maybe I'm biased.
And not only did they ban the Jax, they banned his Olaf too. So after sticking 2 bans at him, now he's 5-1.
Yeah, he is. And he has a big old bounty on him. He has a big CS advantage. He has the tower down. We do see Victor going up to catch that top wave to scale up for the side of Scorch. But I mean, this game was looking grim. They get that dragon, they start stacking the hex techs, and if you're an Irelia team, hex tech is the best dragon to be stacking. So you want that attack speed, so I'm starting to get really nervous if I'm inside of Church because, like I said, maybe I'm biased, but Irelia is I think Irelia can single-handedly win you a game more than any other champion, so we'll see what they can do with it.
And she's going for the Gore Drinker build, it seems, too. So she's going to have even more agency to bait out these abilities onto herself.
As we do see them engage onto the Lissandra, Popper ult, Irelia gets the kill onto Lissandra and the shutdown gold there too. Victor's fighting this Alawi up in the top lane and he is just melting her with this ult. Looks like she is going to get killed. Oh, and her corrupting pots. Yeah, her corrupting pots save her. As we do see Amumu drop that Herald for that Irelia, should get 2 charges off in the spot lane. More gold onto that Irelia. This is exactly, I think, it's an even gold now. I think that they might be listening to this stream and said, you know what, this caster, he said we need to put everything onto the Irelia, and you know what, that's exactly what they did.
I'm starting to think I need to get you to cast my ranked games. Just tell me what to do and I'll win all of them.
I've played a lot of League of Legends, my friend. But
no, you're absolutely right about, I think she is definitely their win con and has been for the last 3 games. Lionel Johnson, great name by the way.
Yeah, and the funny thing is when I was casting with your twin brother yesterday, what we saw is the team who won game 1 lost games 2 and 3, and that we very well could see that here. So it is an even gold here as they had shaken off a 3k gold deficit on the side of Team Scorch. It was looking grim. They made him be able to make a play at a Baron. They can take any fight they want as long as Irelia's there.
And with it being the Hex Tech Soul, anytime that you need to be there quickly for objectives, like you can be split pushing and you can come back and be at that objective very quickly, even if you don't have your teleport up. And I think that's great for either team, whether you're ahead or behind. Because if you're behind, there's a chance they overstay. And if you're ahead, well, you have all the agency in the world to be where you want all the time.
Yeah, absolutely. And talking about the side of Church here, the most important thing is when me being a mid laner and me playing a ton of Lissandra in my life, if the enemy team picks Irelia and I know it's going mid, my pick into Irelia mid is Lissandra. So they do have that CC shutdown. If they want to CC shut down the Irelia in a team fight, they have the agency to do it. They have the Lissandra W. They can take the W into the ult, into the Sejuani CC. They easily can shut down this Irelia if they play it right, but, you know, it all comes down to how good can you play Irelia and how well can you be slippery out of those CCs. So we do see...
You have the patience to wait for some of those cooldowns as well, because you cannot use your W in Lissandra ult. You can use it in a bunch of other forms of CC, but you cannot reduce damage when you're suppressed.
Yeah, 100%. As we see Irelia's ult miss, Lissandra flashes out, but we do see chat here saying twin brother question mark. So chat, yes, the caster here today, Reginald, is twin brother with another caster in this league. His brother goes by the caster named Pens, who I casted with yesterday, and it's just a whole family fest up here. So
in case you're thinking I sound familiar, I don't, but that's why.
Yeah, in case you think that these are the same casters as yesterday, they are genetically the same, but not the same. So here we are. We do see Lissandra. Oh, what a
That could have
great
been
play.
a great
Yeah,
play.
but once again, you're this Irelia, is she gonna do it?
I don't think she is.
I
She
don't think
overstepped.
she overstepped, and the
And that's
Lissandra.
950 gold to
I
Lissandra.
can't believe that Irelia went back in. That is especially with Dragon spawning in 50 seconds. I mean, because she'll be up about 11 seconds or so before that Dragon spawns, and she can try to make it there, but they're going to have vision set up. They're going to have Pry on this
She
Dragon.
does have teleport, thankfully.
Oh, you're right. I did not see that really great call out. So,
But you are right about the vision setup. You can't, like, if you don't have your Aurelia to help you out with that, you're going to be at a disadvantage when you're trying to set up for the Drake.
100%. And chat is saying that Lissandra ult is a stun, not a suppress. If I said it was a suppress earlier, sorry, or if someone else in chat did.
I'm going to double check that. Maybe I'm wrong, but I could have sworn it was a suppress.
Yeah, no, it is absolutely not a suppress. It's just like a 3-second stun. It's a mega stun. So we do see them just go all in on this Alawi. Now they're going to have the priority, especially with Irelia up. Is Irelia going to TP in? Oh, she's just going to take the Hextech gate in, as you would expect with Hextech Soul being on the map. She's going to save that teleport. If I'm her, they're probably going to fight for this, get the dragon. She's going to teleport up to the top lane. But we'll see. We see the Banish Toss coming in onto the Sejuani, into the Amumu ult. We see Irelia coming in, cleaning everything up. This is an Irelia win-con game. I don't know how many times I can say it, but unfortunately, Amumu does pick up one of those kills. But does Irelia really need it at this point? Probably not.
No, you can see she's 2.5 items in. She's actually gone above and beyond with the Alawi's. I don't think there's anyone in the game that has the same item spikes as she does, besides potentially Lissandra, who has picked up that stopwatch now.
Yeah, and about an even gold, about a 500 gold lead for the side of the church. 2 Hextech, so even though it's a slight teeny tiny gold lead, I do favor Scorch right now, just because they do have the Fed carry. We don't really see a Fed carry. I don't really want a Lissandra carrying me. I see them more as a supportive player, but they can certainly carry, and the Hextech Drakes just suit their team better than the Cloud and Mountain. It's nice to have one Mountain Drake with the tanky team that they have, but I'd much rather have 2 Hextechs on the side of a team with a Victor and an Aurelia.
And I'll take a quick moment to apologize to the chat. I was incorrect. It is a stun, not a suppress.
Yeah.
I see they posted the actual ability from an actual source.
Oh, so. Yeah. I was gonna say, for me being in a Lissandra, it being one of my most played mid laners, my 3rd most played mid laner of all time. I can verify that 100%.
And I play her a fair bit too. I don't have an excuse.
Yeah, no, you're good.
No reason for me not to know this.
It's just a big old stun, I can tell you that. So, we do see Caitlyn maybe coming online in this game. The good thing is despite Sivir being at 2.5 items, that's really not that much, given the state of this game. I mean, she's scaling really well. Way better than this Caitlyn. Caitlyn's at 1.5 items, but it's not that huge of a difference when you take into consideration the rest of what's going on in this game. So you'd like to see Sivir. If I'm the side of Team Church, I'm trying to play through that Sivir to win this game.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
and especially
for sure.
You can see her putting in that Lord Dominic's is going to be her next item, it looks like. You definitely want to play around that. She's going to be able to melt through the tanks, so you really need to peel her if you're the Sejuani, or even the Lissandra, to be honest.
Yeah. 1000%. That's exactly. That LDR is going to be absolutely crucial in winning these fights. You're going to be able to pick off champs very quickly and then just move on to the next one. And especially with your Sivir W, LDR is just going to shred them in 5v5s.
One thing I am noticing on the item side of this is the only person with Grievous Wounds on the side of Church is Sejuani. And I think if Aurelia just chooses not to attack the Sejuani, that's bad news for you. So I would really like to see someone, potentially the Zyra, who has a bunch of AoE, pick that up next.
Yeah, excuse me. With her already having a tome, there's a very good chance that does turn into an Oblivion Orb, with it only needing an extra 365 gold, and with the buffs on Grievous Wounds, very recently, and Oblivion Orb has as much Grievous Wounds as what a completed Morello used to have. So,
Exactly.
yeah, you're really looking for that Grievous Wounds. Oh, she just ends up buying a Blasting Wand. That's pretty crucial that she didn't end up buying that Oblivion Orb. So, really good call out there with the Grievous Wounds with the Irelia here, with her having Gore Drinker and that Bork.
And I believe Wit's End gives you a little bit of healing too, doesn't it?
Does what?
I believe Wit's End gives you... Oh, no. No, I'm thinking of Old Wit's End.
Yeah, I was going to say,
They changed that a long
unless
time
they
ago.
change the item. But yeah, 100%. So still about a 500 gold lead for the side of the church here. We see that Sejuani ult come out, burns the cleanse off the Caitlyn. She flashed, or she just cleansed. She didn't flash, my bad. We do see Irelia start backing here in the top lane. She is level 16. She is the highest level in the game. Victor is level 16. And that's actually really, really unfortunate, in my opinion, that we didn't see that rod on Lissandra, because that could have made a difference here. So, I mean, it's nice to have that Ludens, so I will say. Ludens into Shadow Flame is disgusting magic pin.
Well, you just stack so much pen, exactly. And with this, with the Zonya's now completed as well, she is going to be a little bit tankier into the Caitlyn and the Aurelia.
Yeah.
As well as be able to hopefully bait out some abilities without much punishment from them.
You really want that pin. I actually haven't said it, but my my jungle main is Karthus. I'm a weird jungle player. I love me. I have like 500,000 mastery on that champion, and yeah, with a team like this, Squishy, if I was Karthus, this would be one of the few times that I actually opt for the Ludens because of the magic pin. So with a Squishy team like this, you want that magic pin. As that Sejuani comes out in that split pushing Victor in the bot lane, we see a bloody fight. Is Irelia going to be able to clean this up? She gets CC'd, she throws the ult, but she gets picked off very quickly. Not going to be able to clean this up. Amumu does get one, so it is a 1 for 3. I don't know what this Lulu is stepping up, but we do see flashes coming out all over the place, and it does not make a difference. It's a 1 for 5 ace.
That is an ace, and they got a free dragon off the back of that.
That is a free dragon. It is going to put them at soul point. It does put them at about a 3k gold, or 2.5 gold. It's at 2,700 gold lead right now. So, it doesn't
and
make...
one thing that...
Oh, go on.
Sorry, you go ahead.
I was going to say, it doesn't make too much of a difference when you have a crazy fed laner like an Irelia, because when you're crazy fed like that, you always can win a team fight. But that little gold lead does make a difference. We're going to see if they do try to make a play on the Baron here. We do have Victor
It looks
up.
like they're going to try.
Yeah.
And Hex Skates are a thing. Victor's going to teleport right away.
Victor teleports. He has ult. I don't know if I want to run. If I were them, I just get vision, but they started. So Victor
I think they're forgetting about the Hex Skates.
I think, well, that's true too. I think they're just not respecting the damage that this Victor is doing. This Victor is 3 item, and he has Spellblade. The Sejuani ult does come out. They do get the shutdown onto the Victor, or not shutdown, but they do kill him. And then, so...
But they do give up inside track to the Baron for it.
They do. You're 100% right. So if Team Scorch is smart enough to know that they backed here, they could try to burn it down, but they opt not to. They're just going to get vision in this area. So,
that's a smart move too. You know that resets are coming in from the side of the church. You just took the Hex Skates over to try and maybe make a play. You should be aware that they can do the same thing. I agree with the decision not to just try and rush it down.
Yeah, I don't think they should, but nonetheless, it wouldn't have surprised me if a team made that decision. Having played enough League of Legends, there's a lot of aggressive players who are like, you know what, I don't care. I'm starting this Baron, and you're going to have to, if you don't want it, you're going to have to come kill me. So, we do see Sejuani start setting up vision over here. I'm pretty sure Team Church is looking to make a play on this Baron. We do see the root come out onto the Zyra. I don't think that Scorch can get... I don't think Scorch can get into this.
Amu's looking for an angle, but he's being blocked up by the whole team.
They're just going to target him. Can he flash? He does not have flash. We do see Irelia throw the ult.
Comes in,
she does get the shutdown. I think it might. I think Irelia might be able to... If she can get the Sejuani, she can win the fight. So the Alawi is going to come in.
She did get a reset on that.
She did get the Gore Drinker heal. I think that she can win this. Yeah, I think she can win this. So, sorry, chat.
I have been proven wrong here.
That frames are slowing down as these fights are getting wild, but they did pick up, so it didn't last forever. But yeah, they're just gonna try to burn down this Baron, which is exactly what I would do. We have Lysandra backing. Lysandra doesn't have TP. I don't know if they know that Lysandra's backing, but it's
It could come down to a sniper here.
It is, but yeah, it doesn't look like they get it, and they're just gonna kill this Sejuani. So that was a little overzealous. If I was the jungler on that Sejuani, I'd say, you know what, we lost our carry, we lost our Alawi earlier. I'm just gonna have to lose this fight. So, and we did see that shutdown onto the Sivir into the Irelia once again, thus giving that Irelia 4 completed items now. So yeah, it is a even game state once again. Both teams are within 400 gold of each other, so we'll see what if it really comes down to, can Team Church get this soul? If they don't get this soul, I don't think they win.
And another thing too, if you're playing in the game, you can't see the gold difference, right? If you're Team Church, I'm probably feeling like we're behind in gold, and I'm going to be a little more cautious in fights than maybe I should be.
Yeah.
We'll see if they have the confidence to come up and contest this, knowing that it is their soul, but also knowing that it's not the enemy's, so they don't have to fight for it if they don't want to.
100%, 100%. I just want to make a few comments here about the teams. If anyone else is in this league and they're watching, I just want to say I really like seeing the diversity of these teams. Like, Team Scorch, clearly, if you're watching this VOD tomorrow or whenever you're watching it, your win con is playing through top lane. It's very clear that this team needs to play through top lane in order to win. I'm sorry, ADC, for Scorch, but I haven't seen much from you. And as we see a fight here in the mid lane, we do see, it looks like it's just going to be a disengage. Doesn't look like it's going to get too spicy from here on out. A lot of damage. As soon as they
PT's channel, they know that they have to back up a little bit at least.
Yeah, 100%. But I just want to finish my quick point. I really do like seeing the diversity in terms of win conditions. I really think that Church has a very diverse amount of win cons. Their mid laner is an absolute monster in terms of his OP.GG, so I would say they're more of a mid lane win con team, but they've shown that they can win all over the map. So we'll see where it goes from here. Amumu did get caught out by that Alawi E. That should do a good chunk of damage to him. Looks like they're just going to back off here with that empowered recall from the Baron buff. And another thing to note is that there's not a lot of towers haven't been taken on this map, so there can easily be a gold blow up pretty quickly. As we see this Irelia try to 1v1 that Lysandra, but unfortunately can't, as the other teammates of them close on pretty quickly, so she can't 1v1 her. Dragon is up, they're dancing around it. It looks like Team Scorch does have prio here.
And there's a Sejuani ult, but I don't know if they can get anything from it. It lands onto the Caitlyn, but there's just no one in a position where they're ready to follow up.
Yeah, not only did they put it on the Caitlyn, she used it in a way that Caitlyn didn't even need to burn cleanse for it, which is really unfortunate. If you're going to throw it on, you at least want to get that cleanse trade, and you didn't. So we see a split fight here. That Alawi should get burned down. Double,
Lysandra comes in and saves.
Lysandra, but so it's a 3v3 right now. Looks like Irelia is going to get killed eventually, but she is going to take down the Lysandra with her, as Victor's going to clean up this fight. You know what I said when you asked me what's it going to take for this team to win? I said you're going to need Irelia to get fed and win, but I also said you need Victor to scale. And you know what? When Irelia's dead, what's happening? Victor's scaling, and Victor should...
Alawi could turn this around still.
Yeah, I don't think so, because you have this Amumu CC, so... and you might be able to. Does Amumu have ult?
There's a lot of healing coming through here, and they don't have grievous wounds on those two members.
Man, these tentacles, yeah, she is going to get that...
She's burned both of their flashes.
Yeah, I can't believe that Amumu got out. Really good. That was really solid play by that Alawi. You know, you were right. You were like, oh, I was wrong a couple times during this. I'll admit when I'm wrong. I was wrong. I thought that for sure. But that Alawi said, you know what? I'm big. I'm an Alawi. Fight me. And they couldn't kill her.
He's tired of us just talking about the top laner from Scorch. He's like, hey, I'm playing the game too. Look at me.
Yeah.
And it looks like this might be their soul, unless Amumu can steal it.
And Amumu does steal it. Yeah, that is so worth it. It's still an even gold in this game. So, what an unbelievable Game 3 we've seen. I am so happy to be the primary caster for this league. I'm really happy to have great co-casters to cast with.
Oh, thanks, man.
This is a wonderful this is just I've really enjoyed my first 2 days casting for this league. The talent in this that you guys are bringing is absolutely wonderful.
And the excitement too. Like that team fight lasted 2 full rotations of respawns.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. So yeah, of course, this Irelia is just gonna delete Sivir. And another thing I want to point out is Victor and Irelia have been level 18 for quite a while. I would expect Lissandra and Alawi to hit level 18 very shortly, because I've noticed that they've been on 17 for some time. But
Irelia's full build, by the way.
Yeah,
like, completely full build.
Yeah, sold boots and everything. Oh, she does have boots.
Oh no,
actually.
not sold. She didn't sell boots, but I don't know if that's. I think that's an overrated thing to do, because I think movement speed is important.
I play control mages, so maybe on an assassin or bruiser, move speed's important. But on the side of a control, like my million mastery or near million mastery champion is a Nivea, I'll sell boots on a Nivea all day.
That's fair.
I don't need boots on her. I don't need boots. So
Chat,
yeah.
what's your thought? Boots or no boots?
Yeah, no, but yeah, it all depends. If you're playing an Irelia, I definitely think you definitely want those boots, especially for she has the Merc treads, which is super important when you're playing a
Gives
champion.
you that extra bit of tenacity.
Yeah, well, when you're playing against Lissandra Sejuani, you really need that. Yeah, so
because that's the enemy's win con is shutting you down through those tools, right? And if you can reduce that.
Yeah, 100%. So it looks like chat split. Chats are saying, oh no, chats are saying no boots because Irelia has the dash. So that seems to be their logic here. And this is where we're at. You made a point to say, I said I don't think that Church can win this game if they don't get the soul. And you know what? Amumu stole that dragon. I think that was the play of the game. And you know what else Amumu did? Amumu made those ganks to get Irelia fed to be able to carry. So if we're going to be talking about player of the game in this, if Scorch...
And he's minus some nutty bandage tosses.
Yeah, and both win. Well, I shouldn't say, because this is not a win. It's very much a close
it's not
game.
over yet, but...
It is very much a winnable game. I mean, it's only a 600 gold lead for side of Scorch right now. So, but nonetheless,
Baron is up. We're gonna see the dance around there.
Yeah, despite Jax and despite Irelia just destroying game 2 and 3 for this, if Scorch wins, I gotta say I think Amumu is player of the series for this. And on the side of
this might be a dead Irelia, or sorry, Alawi.
Yeah,
she has no ultimate.
Yeah, she doesn't.
Oh, never mind.
It's 4v1 as we see them take the Baron. They'll trade that. That is Irelia for Baron, and you know what? I take that trade.
And
are they? Ooh, they're gonna get the Lissandra.
That went to the Alawi too, so
it did go to
even go to one of your carries.
Well, at this point, she is the damage on there. Well, I think... Oh, we see the TP come in. That is a not good TP from the side of that Allow. Oh, Irelia is alive. I mean, Lissandra is alive.
Lissandra's killed a lot of time. It doesn't end up mattering.
Yeah.
Lulu flashing forward to Polymorph. Chaos Storm comes out.
Yeah.
I don't know if they have the damage, and their base is going to be in shambles if they don't back off right now. If I'm the Alawi, I'm going to stop these backs. And she does stop the Victors.
Yeah, the really good thing they had the Empower recall there. I don't think they're going to be able to take this inhibitor, but the Sivir's trying, but unfortunately she can't. We got Dragon coming up in less than a minute. This is soul for both teams. This is our first 7 Dragon game of the year in the Sweat League.
Oh. It looks like it kicked us out of the match for a second.
Oh,
right, I'm back in. I don't know about yourself.
Nope, it did not kick me out. So
okay, that's good.
Streamer is still showing. So Sivir did.
Hey, and there's the Sivir. She's online.
Sivir got a triple kill. It looks like that she's just gonna have no problem taking the soul. I'm surprised they didn't push for inhib and then to dragon, but you know what? There's no reason. It looks like Irelia is gonna 1v1 this Alawi, but Sejuani is in the area. Sejuani's gonna try to hit the CC. Can Irelia 1v9? Irelia is trying, and she cannot. So I'm actually...
that is a stopwatch burn from the Sivir. Great pickup by her. Looks like she's going towards the GA with that.
Yeah, I'm at 41-20, by the way. 41-21,
yep.
41... Okay, just wanted to make sure we're on the same page. So, really shocked that they did not take it. So, yeah, it looks like they're going to take this soul, which is exactly what I said they needed to win. So, that Hextech Soul not going to the side of the Irelia at this point, I really think that Team Church is going to win this game now, and we'll
honestly,
see.
As much as the extra damage that the Hextech Soul gives, the slow is debilitating, and it's AoE as well.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, the slow is, and it's not like we have like a lot of tenacity in this game. So, and we don't have Kimtech Drake, so those slows will make a big difference.
And it just makes it harder to position, harder to kite. It's a great tool to have.
It is. It is. So, um,
Now, you do still have a full build Aurelia,
yep.
so the game isn't lost, but it does become a whole lot more difficult from here.
It does, and it's about a 900 to 800 gold. I mean, at this point, at 40 minutes into the game, what's an 800 gold? What's a 2,000 gold diff at this late in the game? It doesn't even make a difference. It's going to come down to a 5v5 team fight. Who's going to win? A slight advantage in terms of fight because of the soul for the side of Team Church, but, you know, that doesn't really matter at this point. So it's nice having that. It is nice having the Hex Tech on the Sivir and on the Lysandra. It does make a pretty significant difference, and the Alawi as well. So we'll see if they can take advantage of it, or if Irelia is just going to get a pick and what's going to happen here. So.
And Amuma's sitting on a ward. I don't think he knows. They haven't swept it out. They could look for something, although they do know that his teammates are behind him, so I don't think they're going to.
They do, yeah. I'm surprised they haven't swept that out. How do they...
And Amuma has a sweeper available, I think, and a pink in his inventory.
Yeah, what the heck? That
monstrous
that lack
right
of looking for vision, yeah, that's GG. That's GG.
Unless...
No, that's GG.
No.
That's GG.
I was going to say, with that return kill, it looked like it could be cool, but...
So...
and there's the Sejuani ult onto the Aurelia. We'll see if they can lock her down long enough to kill her. Zyra's there with another root. I think they've got her.
Yeah, I was saying if Scorch wins this game, despite the plays from the top lane, I thought Amumu was player of the game, but Amumu, what are you doing not looking for that vision? You had pinks and you had the Oracle Lin, so I'm sorry there, pal, but they read that like a book and they were ready to jump in and win. So, and Sivir didn't even need to burn her GA. GG. GG's all across the board for everyone.
Great game to watch. Full of excitement. Nail biter to the end. I love that aggressive flash forward by the Lysandra, knowing she has the ultimate for herself and the stopwatch to finish that out.
Yeah, that was a nearly a 3-hour game series, a 3-hour long series for this. So, yeah, really, really great stuff. The first 2 series of the Sweat League, I gotta say, that was easily the best game of the year thus far. If we do, like, awards for the end of the year, that is definitely a nominee for best game of the year, no doubt. Really, really
I absolutely
awesome.
agree with that.
Really awesome stuff. So, really...
Victor actually topped out the damage over the Aurelia. I was not expecting to see that.